So continue to deepen the breath. And so feeling, really trying to open the back of the throat so you can take in as much air as possible, breathing it down the front of the spine all the way to the pelvic floor. And you should almost feel your abdomen expanding out, taking in that much breath. It's like you're pouring water into a vase. You know, a lot of vases often have a bulbous kind of bottom to them. And these are also places that a lot of stress and tension accumulates. When we're anxious or worried, our bodies often contract, and we might not be breathing throughout the day. So this is really a chance to process and integrate emotional energy that's kind of stuck or trapped in the body. And if you're not used to breathing deeply, like this might feel a little uncomfortable. You know, you might feel certain tissues of the body opening up and bringing sensations that just are uncomfortable because they're unfamiliar, really. And so really the opportunity here is to welcome whatever sensations arise as they arise. And if they do feel uncomfortable, try to have a neutral mind so that you're not, judging uncomfortable as negative or bad. So really it's like welcoming with an unconditional quality, whatever arises. And we're gonna shift now. So I want you to, now that you've opened up that channel of your body, we're gonna start to move the body a little bit more and synchronize some of the movement with breath. So if you're seated in a chair, you can put your palms face down on your knees, or you can keep them on your upper thighs. But what we're going to do is we're going to start to do some spinal flexing. So you're going to inhale forward, chest comes forward, and then exhale, rounding the spine, shoulders get rounded. So inhaling forward, exhale, rounding the spine. So keeping a nice, supple spine is really such an important ingredient to health and longevity, the whole body. So let's take a little bit of time to open up the spine, get the spinal fluid moving to lubricate all those joints. And start to find a rhythm with this movement and the breath that feels good in your body. You want to try to keep your chin pretty parallel with the ground. So most of the movement's coming from your pelvis and your spine. So you're kind of rocking the pelvis and using that, but keeping chin level. You'll likely probably start to generate a little bit of heat as you do this. That's normal. This really gets all of the fluids and systems of the body moving, not only the energetic body, like the prana that's moving through the body, but the blood, the lymph, all of it. And when we're bringing the chest forward, there's a quality of bringing our heart forward. So there's a vulnerability to opening this part of our body, in particular for men. So this is an opportunity to maintain a strong spine and to lean into an edge around, just on a physical level, opening up part of us that, might feel constricted if that's not our regular practice. And sometimes with the physical comes an emotional quality, an emotional content that arises. So likewise, we're just welcoming any emotions that get stirred up with that same unconditional presence. And we're going to go another 30 seconds or so. So see if the next 30 seconds, maybe you can pick up the pace a little bit. Maybe you can amplify the movement a little bit. Maybe there's a little space in there that you haven't touched yet, that you've been resisting or holding back. So you don't have to force anything, but see if you can invite a little more range of movement, a more stretch. Now you're going to inhale really deep and just hold the breath, pausing in the center, suspending the breath, and just in this breath suspension, just rest your awareness in stillness. Go ahead and exhale. And just pausing for a moment, staying connected to that stillness. Even if there's thoughts occurring, even if there's sensations that have been stimulated in the body, just resting in that still place. And noticing where your breath is now, if it's different than when you first began. We're going to take the fingers, we're going to rest them face forward on the shoulders, tops of the shoulders. And we're going to do some spinal twisting. So we're going to inhale to the left, exhale to the right. And if you're seated in a chair, you'd really want to ground your feet, like ground the whole lower part of your body. It'll help to activate your abdominal muscles, so kind of pulling the navel in towards the spine slightly. You can even engage the root lock, which is squeezing the muscles of the pelvic floor kind of upward, your rectum and your sex organs. That'll create a really solid base and protect your lower back so you can really twist into this. So inhaling left, exhaling right through the nose if you can. And trying to make the breath powerful. Powerful doesn't necessarily mean aggressive. Just feeling the power of the breath. Now you're going to inhale deeply in the center again, suspend the breath. Hold the breath in. And now pull the muscles of the pelvic floor, pull the navel towards the spine, just squeeze everything in and up. Go ahead and let go, release the breath, release the arms. And just pausing again for a moment, closing the eyes, turning your attention on the sensations in your body. And now we're going to come to a standing position. Yeah, so as long as you can see me, you're good. So as long as you can see me and hear me, I don't necessarily need to see you. Okay, so closing your eyes, you're going to have your feet a little bit wider than hip distance apart, and your feet are going to be parallel, and your knees are going to be slightly bent. And this is a bioenergetics practice, and it's really designed to really open up a lot of tension that gets trapped in the front of the body. You know, the front of our body this is where all of our emotional energy centers are, right? And if we're not used to letting our emotions flow and move, then a lot of constriction happens here and we get kind of locked up, right? So this is going to help to open us up. It's a little intense. You're going to take your fists and you're going to place them right here in the lower back. And your elbows are going to try to kind of come in towards each other. Knees are slightly bent. And we're going to do a breath with an open mouth. So we're going to open up the jaw as wide as possible, like really stretching out those muscles. And then we're going to start to lean back and begin to breathe like this. So make sure you're got a firm pressure on your lower back with your fists. Your elbows are coming towards each other. And you're breathing deep, breathing as long and deep as you can here. Your knees are slightly bent. And begin to lean back deeper and deeper. The fists should protect your lower back. We're not going to be here too long, so really, same opportunity here is to welcome whatever sensations you're feeling with an unconditional acceptance. We'll be here just a little while longer. Breathe deep. This next 20 seconds, stick your tongue out now. And see if you can breathe now. Feel that center column that we breathed into in the beginning. See if you can really open that up with your attention and your awareness and the breath. Keep going. You're almost there. And now go ahead and inhale nice and deep. Come up to a standing position slowly, standing up tall. You can let your arms fall to the sides, closing your eyes. and turning your attention in, just breathing normally. And observe whatever's happening in your body now. And now I'm going to invite you to start to shake your body. So you're going to start with your hands, your wrists, and try to, while you're doing this shaking, just keep your breath smooth and full. You're going to start to move the shoulders. And now you're just going to begin to engage the entire body. And you want to try to not fall into any kind of patterns of shaking. So if you notice yourself shaking in a certain way, change it up, find a new place, find something new to move. Moving any stuck or stagnant energy. And as you're shaking, you can go ahead and start to make a little bit of noise. If that feels good, if you're in a place where that is not going to disturb anyone, just allow your full range of primal sounds to come out of your body. Make sure you relax your jaw, move your neck. Don't shake your neck too hard, but let it be loose. Relax your tongue. Keep going, keep going. Don't hold back. Really, the opportunity here is to play full out. Free yourself in a way. Keep going. Another 20 seconds. Make sure you're breathing. Maybe you got some kind of angst that's built up, some anxiety that's just been tied up in a knot in your stomach. Now's a chance to just let it out with sound if you need to. Yell if that feels good. Coming to stillness again. Find that same position that we started with. Your feet are parallel, hip distance apart. We're shifting from this movement into stillness. Movement to stillness. Being fully in an experience, and letting go in it, and then being a witness. What do you notice? Be a yes to whatever you're feeling right now. We're going to come down now into kind of a squat. And we're just going to open up the groin a little bit. So see how I've got my elbows kind of pressed in just below the inside of my knees. You can kind of bounce back and forth. You can have the weight moving back and forth between your feet. And really you're just trying to kind of open up the muscles, your inner thighs and in your groin. So you can take your elbows and kind of slide them up, create a little more space. I'm going to allow one other man to jump in here. Just stay with your practice. Using those elbows to just move tension out of your groin area. Okay, so we're gonna do another exercise. So coming from that squat position, you're gonna put your heels together, so your toes are on the ground, your heels are elevated, heels are touching, fingers are on the ground, on the fingertips, kind of like you're sitting like a frog, you're about to take a little leap. And so we're going to go from this position, inhale, coming up, stretching up, knees are almost straight, and then coming back down, exhaling. So go ahead and repeat that movement, inhaling up, exhaling down. These frog poses really help to circulate sexual energy in the body. You're going to start to feel it, if you're not already, in your quads. Stay with it if you can. Almost there. Inhaling up, now coming into a standing position, closing your eyes, coming back to that original standing position. So your feet are hip distance apart, feet are parallel. Your arms are at your sides, giving a little bit of space between your arms and your body. Yeah, so we're going to move into another exercise here. So we're just going to do a little jump. So flat-footed, jump, and just land flat on the ground. If you have neighbors below you, maybe you can modify it whatever way you need to. But the idea is to jump in the air and land on the ground. And as you land, you're going to make kind of like a ho sound. So you're going to make syllable ho. And you're going to try to project the sound from just below your navel. You're going to activate the navel center, which is your power center. It'll be like this. Your whole upper body is just kind of loose. Remember? Kind of like a warrior stomp. Imagine you were preparing for battle. Really see if you can project the sound from the lower part of your body. Remember, keeping the upper body loose, open. You should feel pretty open after the exercise that we did at the beginning. Allow yourself to get kind of primal, kind of fierce here. Literally feel something in your life that you're preparing to do battle. What is it that you need to take this warrior energy to in your life? Where have you been holding back, timid, tepid? Time to activate this energy. Use your gaze to focus on what it is that you need to conquer. What's the mountain you need to climb? See it in front of you, mind's eye. Face it down. Face it down like a fucking warrior. Even if your body's tired, what can you tap into that's larger than your own discomfort right now? Can you find a deeper well, energy, resources you didn't even know you had? And now, coming to stillness, open the eyes again, resting now in this standing meditation position. Coming back to that still place. There's a time to move and a time to act. And there's a time to be still and reconnect to the why. Why we're doing what we're doing. It's really important piece during these times right now to be tapped into that why. So if we don't have a deep why, we're most likely going to be strung along by our fears, and our worries, and what other people say we should be doing. So feel into the part of you that has that why. Even if you can't articulate what it is in words at this moment, feel the part of you that knows. Knows why you're here. Knows what you were put on earth to do. Maybe you've been afraid. Maybe you've doubted yourself. Right now, can you put your trust there? Can you surrender the ego, mind, that deep knowing? And really, right now, it's just a time to get intimate with that part of yourself. Get related. A lot of times in our busy lives, we don't make the time to tap in here. We're surviving.